So it's been a pretty long time since I actually put up a YouTube video, and life's been kind of tough lately in the past year or so, ever since I had the MR2. So instead of reaping and having to stop and having to repair the MR2 every couple of weeks to days, I had to get rid of it. Financial reasons. So I sold the vehicle, sold the MR2, unfortunately, and I end up buying a basic car, such as an RX 300. And after having that SUV for 6 months, out of pure frustration, I got angry and bought a IS 300. So what have I been doing for the past year? Well, if you can see the extent of the garage, engine hoist, two transmissions, I even bought a parts washer. I got a pickup. Now, you're probably wondering what the heck am I doing with a pickup? Seems a little out of ordinary, but then again, you're talking to about a guy that used to have a 89 4x4 van. Of all things to own, I'm more of an oddball owner. I guess you can say that. So right here, right now, I have is a 93 Toyota pickup, standard cab, short bed. This comes with the 5-speed manual. With air conditioning. See the condenser down there. Has super tinted windows all around, which is choice in the sun and keep weirdos from looking at you. And this is all the byproduct from all the work I've been doing on this truck. This is the original bench seat that has been taken up because it looked like a dog has been chewing on that thing for some time. So let me show the insides of this thing first. So in here, what maybe sold on this truck was one, the tinted windows, air conditioning, and sound system. Has the hookup, it came with that. Has speakers. I don't know what brand these are. I can't even tell what brand are these. Punch speakers. And really, really clean interior. It may not look clean, but trust me, this thing did not have a single tear, scar, blemishes, anything in this interior except for this part. That was the only defect in this interior. The dash is completely intact, no cracks, it's not even sticky. Everything was fully functioning on this truck. That's what sold me. It sold me because it had all this stuff, the stuff that I wanted in all my projects. Stereo, air conditioning. That's it. Also, what else sold me is the fact that this truck has been repainted. It is, the paint still shines. Other than a few dings that I put in recently. Still kicking myself for that one. And other than this little streak, which was there before I bought it. Truck came with bed liner, plastic all around. It was an all-around clean truck. Clean truck, and that's why I wanted to start with. All my projects were, ever since the Cressida was banged up, has a major dent somewhere, imperfected paint. But this, previous owner repainted about 2 years ago. He's took care of it ever since. It even has brand new tires on it. But to what I put in this, them tires are not gonna last So, what have I put into this truck? What crazy monstrosity have I thought of to throw in this truck? Because if you know my past history, none of my stuff was slow, except for the van, which was a project in its own, but another subject. What have I put in here? It's still staying on manual. It's getting brand new clutch. To give you a clue, I was a muscle guy way before I was an import guy. I was all muscle car. I was more of a Chevy guy than anyone. My favorite muscle car is an RT Barracuda 71. So I'm thinking, what swap can I do that I have never done? And I've never done one before, not on any of my personal projects, not on anyone else's project. What can I do to pop this cherry? And the reveal. V8 swap. Yep, first ever V8 swap I've ever done. And by means V8 swap, meaning that I've never done a V8 swap as in converting a car to a V8. I built V8s. I put V8s back into a V8 car that's making a little more power, of course, and everything like that. But I've never converted any car less than a V8 to a V8. And what made me think to use a pickup truck to pop that cherry? Well, it's because it's been done before, and there's kits out there that are built for this to make it possible. But even though stuff is already made, it's a byproduct to make it work. Things don't always go as planned. So, two things that have been added to this truck. One, power steering. These trucks of this trim only come with manual steering. After driving this thing before I pulled the original motor, it was a pain to drive, or at least pedal apart. Other thing is, I decided was to keep my air conditioning, which I had to modify the steering position for the box, or at least the steering box position. Yeah, that took some time. So that way I can clear it, so that way when the engine rocks back and forth, which will hardly ever do because it's using brand new stock 22RE motor mounts, it should not move much, but we did it as a safety precaution, so that way they didn't knock into each other under hard acceleration. As you can see how much room I have for my radiator and fan combo, but after doing some measurements and actually test fitting, there's actually there's very little room, but it will work. So far as work, I've replaced all the bushings on the controls, on the suspension on the truck. So far, I replaced all the bushings on the control arms. I replaced the brake calipers, rotors, bearings on the front, rear drums, and shoes. Just so this thing is ready to handle the power out this. And this is a V8 from this is a 1UZ V8 from a 94 SC 400. It only had 90,000 miles on it. no, 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 yeah, no, no.